In the wake of coronavirus, all of us have to work from home. And I know how challenging this can be, especially for those people who are going to work from home for the first time. Now, even though I have 23 years of experience in the software industry and I've worked with many clients, most of them who were sitting across 13,000 kilometers away from me. But there was a time when I did not know how to work with clients over the phone. I remember in 2008, I joined an offshore software development company, and there I had to meet with a client for the first time over the phone. Now, before 2008, I was working in a small software development company, and in that company, we used to go and visit our client, and I used to have all my meetings face to face. Yes, I used to talk to my client over the phone, but that was only after I had built a rapport with the client and I knew exactly how the client was, what was the mannerisms of the client. But here I was sitting on the first day in my job in this new company where I had not seen the client. The only thing I had was a briefing from my manager about the client. My manager had already told me that this client is a little bit unhappy, and he had just said that he was little bit unhappy because the project was not going so well. But on the first call with the client, I was having a big challenge because the client was telling me how the particular project team was reduced from 8 people to just 3 people. The client was unhappy with the progress of the project, and he told me how many mistakes the team was making when delivering the code. There were 33% of tasks which were coming back from the client just because they did not pass the quality test. Now I could sense the frustration in the voice of the client, but I was stuck. I was stuck because this was the first time I was meeting a person who was sitting 13,000 kilometers away from me. I could not see that person because video calling was not yet so popular. Also, the only thing I could rely on was the voice of the client. And from the voice of the client, the only thing I could understand is that the client at that point of time was frustrated. Now, this was the first day of my job, and I went from an enthusiastic employee in a new company to a disillusioned project manager. And this happened because I was expecting a better communication with the client. I was expecting that on the first day itself I will be able to please the client, and here the client was complaining about everything that had gone wrong in the last 1 year that project was there in this company. And I was also feeling cheated because I had joined this company after rejecting another offer from a similar company. So I was feeling cheated because the company had put me on a downhill project. By the end of the call, the client had almost given me a warning that if the project does not do well, then they're going to withdraw this project. Now just imagine if you are in this place, if you are in this situation where you are in the first day of your job and you find out that whatever project you are in is not a good project. And for me, the most frustrating part was that I was not able to see the client, so I was not able to get any of the physical clues that you get when you work with someone face to face. So here I was stuck, and it made me really anxious. It made me question my decision to join this company. I was thinking, is this a right move for me, because I was not able to see my future? If the project is withdrawn by the client, it certainly means that I will no longer be with this company. So I was worried and I was frustrated. I did not know exactly what to do. I attended a few more calls in 2 weeks, but I was not getting any kind of a breakthrough. That is when I met one friend who had a very good experience with working with clients who were in US or UK or Europe. Now this friend has been working in the same company for around 4 to 5 years, and I openly discussed this problem with him. I openly told him that, look, I have an experience of working with clients face to face. This is the first time I'm working with a client over the phone, and this project is going downhill. I don't know what to do. I am feeling the client is totally frustrated and I'm not able to give the right solutions to the client. So my friend told me something that changed the entire course of my career. He said, Amit, just treat your client as if he's in the room with you. This looks like a very generic solution, but at that time I was so desperate that I was ready to try everything. On my next call, which was on the third week, I immediately started imagining that the client is there with me in the room. I started talking to the client over the phone as if he was sitting just in front of me, and it was as if we were friends who were meeting after a very long time, and suddenly the entire experience changed. Suddenly now my voice had opened up. I was able to hear and understand the client more clearly. I felt as if the client also changed his tone just because of my imagination. And that was the key from being a disillusioned project manager to becoming a better project manager who could manage any client even over the phone without knowing who's on the other side of the phone. Now, why am I talking about this? Because today, in the wake of coronavirus, all of us are locked down to home, and there will be a lot of people who will have to work from home, and this is the first time that you are going to work from home. Now, try to work from home as if you are working in your office. Try to imagine conversation with everybody which you are having over the phone, and nowadays the conversation are happening over the Skype or video or all the different technologies that we have. But try to work as if you are working in the office, even if you are working from home. Because when you change the mindset, automatically your productivity and efficiency, even while working from home, is going to change. Why I am telling you this? Because after 18 months, after the change of my conversation happened, the client visited us. He came to our office, and this was the first time I was meeting the client face to face. Now, this client, we went into a meeting where I was there, all the team members were there, and the client, who was a vice president R&D of that company, he told me, Amit, you're doing a great job. How do you manage 3 to 4 projects so smoothly? And I went ahead and I explained him my entire process. I told him how we handle the project. I told him how the team members manage all the systems that we have set. I told him about the reporting structure that I have created, everything. But in back of my mind, I clearly knew the answer to that, which I did not tell him. And that was because I used to imagine the client to be in front of me whenever I was having a conversation with him. And this led to a deeper connection with the client. So, friends, if you are working from home, if You have been suddenly told that you can no longer come to office, but you still have to continue working on your projects, and you have never worked from home, then apply this simple technique to imagine that you are still working from office and have the same conversations that you are having with all your colleagues and your manager the way you were having when you were in the office. This simple mindset change, what it will do is it will change the way in which your team looks at you. It will change the way in which you communicate with the team. It will change the way in which your manager or your boss looks at you. Chances are that when you go back after 2 weeks or maybe 2 months, your manager may say that, look, you have been working from home better than what you have done while working in the office. I hope this happens for you with this simple change. I hope that we are all collectively able to continue delivering the best project and overcome this corona outbreak that is happening right now in the world. Best wishes, stay focused, stay rich.